We're taking a trip back to the 80s today on Classic Cinema Plus, when things were totally radical, awesome. Everybody was dude, you know, and things would gag you with the spoon, man. Yeah, it was a totally awesome time. And we're talking about a totally awesome release. Don't touch that dial. Keep it right here. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. The 80s were totally awesome. Man, I was a child of the 80s, but I do remember so much of the 80s, and the 80s was totally cool. It really was. It was a fun time. It was a time when things were more laid back. It was time when you know, the internet and cell phones and all this type of stuff were not a thing that everybody had. Nowadays, everybody has cell phones and everybody's got a phone in front of their face all the time. We didn't have that in the 80s, man. It was just not. I mean, you had, if anybody had a cell phone, they had that big brick. You know, some of you may remember that. Those of you 80s kids will probably remember that. The big brick that, you know, like Zach Morris used to carry around. I mean, you know, it was crazy. But the 80s was awesome. One of the things that the 80s was everybody rode bikes. And everybody did those crazy stunts, right? And that was a big thing. Now, I couldn't do that. I was just a kid of the 80s. So, I mean, if I would have been doing something crazy on the bike, my mom I wouldn't have had to worry about harming myself or injuring myself in the bike. My mom would have injured me completely for doing something stupid on the bike, right? But that was a big thing in the 80s. Everybody wanted to do the crazy stunts. Everybody wanted to do the crazy races and all that type of stuff. Well, see, that's what the 80s was, man. The 80s was just a fun time. And things are retro now, man. We're seeing so many retro things now that it is pretty cool. And one of the retro things is from Mill Creek Entertainment. Mill Creek is going back in the day to the 80s to a film and releasing it on Blu-ray that is totally 80s and totally awesome. So let's take a chill pill and let's sit back and enjoy something that is rad. Yes, this is an awesome little film, man. Rad was a pretty cool little film. Rad was about a young kid that wanted to be a part of this massive BMX race, and but his college entry exams are coming up the same day of the race, and he has to talk his mom into letting him do the race. But that's not all he's got going on. He has a lot of outside forces that don't want to see him win this race, and he has to not only convince his mom, but he has to beat the outside evil that are trying to keep him down, right? That was what was really cool about this release. I loved it. Rad was just awesome. It was a really awesome film. Rad here is a fun film, and it has a lot of great actors in it. Actors and actresses that are so familiar to us, right? Some of the best would be Talia Shire, who of course played Adrian in the classic Rocky film, right? There's Lori Loughlin from Full House fame. There's Jack Weston, classic comedian. And there's Ray Walston. Wow. Ray Walston, probably best known to most people for playing Uncle Martin on the TV show My Favorite Martian. I love that TV series. So cool. Mill Creek Entertainment did a tremendous job with this release. Mill Creek gets a lot of hate sometimes from people, and that is not fair because Mill Creek does some great stuff, right? But this is really, really cool here. Love this. So let's take a look at this release really, really quick. This is pretty cool. First off, let's just take a look at that slipcover. That slipcover is amazing because let's do this real quick. Okay, this slipcover, if you look at it, I don't know if you can, if the camera's going to pick this up or not, but it has the wording is in like a metallic silver. And then you got that in metallic silver, the collector's edition. I think you can see that a little bit. It's pretty cool. Love that. Rad, right? But in addition to this, a lot of times slipcovers are just that. They're just a slipcover. Take it off, it's the same. Not here. This is cool. Look at this. Here's your slipcover. Look at that. Different artwork on the inside. Look at that. That is totally rad. I know, I did that on purpose. But that is so cool, man. That is so cool. Now, in addition to the film, which looks amazing on Blu-ray, in addition to that, we get some really cool bonus features. Check this out. You get Against the Odds featurette, Ace in the Hole featurette. There is Breaking the Ice, a little featurette there. There's a rad Q&A session, which is really awesome. Archival video interview with the cast and crew, which is really cool to see that. There's behind the scenes making of the film Rad featurette, and there's a Break the Ice music video. Now, that is so awesome as it is, but there's even more. In addition to the film and all these bonus features, we get the full-length rad documentary. That is pretty awesome. Wow. Mill Creek went to the nth degree here and really made a release that is totally insanely awesome. If you love the 80s, man, this thing is just spot on. This is 80s personified. I love this. I gotta tell you, this is totally cool. When you think of the 80s, no doubt, the 80s were awesome with films. I mean, think about it. Just to name some of them. Let's face it. We had some of the greatest films in the 80s that are ever. I mean, think about it. E.T. was in the 80s. Empire Strikes Back was the 80s. Ghostbusters movies were in the 80s. We could go through all of them, and I just don't have time. And so many things are going through my mind right now that I can't even think of all of them. Encino Man was in there. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. An amazing, holiday feature was in the 80s. National Lampoon's Vacation was the 80s. I mean, there's just so many of them, man. I mean, the 80s was awesome with films, and this is totally awesome. Rad is totally awesome. So, yeah, this ain't gonna gag you with the spoon. This is gonna make you trip out, man. This is gonna give you a lot of fun. So definitely, if you love the 80s, Rad is right on that list to make part of your home video library. So a special thank you to Mill Creek Entertainment for sending this our way so that we could share it with you and tell you a little bit of what we think of Rad, which I think we pretty much covered that we think it is rad. It's totally awesome. It really is. It's a fun trip back to the 80s, and it kind of makes you feel like a kid again when you watch it. It really is pretty awesome. We have a full written review of this release up at Classic Cinema Plus. You can check out the full written review if you would like to do that. And let us know what you think about Rad in the comments. What's your favorite 80s film? Do you love the 80s like me? Or the 80s were not your thing? Let us know in the comments. We would appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to go to Classic Cinema Plus. Check out all the reviews we got up there. There's tons of them up there. We would appreciate that. And until we're with you next time with another one of these videos, this is Jason reminding you that if you want to see a great film or a TV series, be sure to check out a classic. And we'll see you next time. Have a good day. We'll see you. Bye.